Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's LTC Mincy here coming at you with a brand new video going over an update what's going on in the market today. And so I wanted to take my time, make sure we got all the information so that way I'm able to put out the right information the first time instead of doing what you see these other YouTubers are doing, putting out 3, 4, 5, 6 videos a day and constantly doing clickbait titles and all that type of stuff. I'm not interested in that. I just want to give you the straight up news, what's going on in the market according to how I see it, and possibly you probably will agree with me at the same time. So before I get going in this video, you should have taken the time out to read the disclaimer again to understand what's going on the channel at all times. If you did not do that, please go back and do so we're on the same page. So that said, let's go ahead and get to this video. So first, let's go ahead and backtrack a little bit. So yesterday we had a massive day with the inauguration, with Gary Gensler resigning, and so many people being disappointed because Donald Trump did not mention crypto in his inauguration speeches, right? And then also there was no mention inside of his executive orders that he was going to be focusing on crypto. So the thing that I was looking for personally, I'm not looking for him to say something, I'm looking for action. The action is the most important thing, and that's what we got today. So that's the reason why we got the markets up over 2.5% today, and pretty much everything is looking good so far for the most part, right? We got something that's still in the red, but the majority of the main altcoins that we interested in, they're all doing very well today, and it's all based off of the news that we got today, especially from the SEC. So Washington, D.C., January 21st, 2025. Today, SEC Acting Chairman Mark T. Uyeda, I think I said his name right, launched a crypto task force dedicated to developing a comprehensive and clear regulatory framework for crypto assets. Commissioner Hester Pierce will lead the task force. Richard Gabbard, Senior Advisor to the Acting Chairman, and Taylor Asher, Senior Policy Advisor to the Acting Chairman, will serve as the task force Chief of Staff and Chief Policy Advisor, respectively. Drawn from talented staff across the agency, the task force will collaborate with commission staff and the public to set the SEC on a sensible regulatory path that respects the bounds of the law. To date, the SEC has relied primarily on enforcement actions to regulate crypto retroactively and reactively, often adopting novel and untested legal interpretations along the way. Clarity regarding who must register and practical solutions for those seeking to register have been elusive. The result has been confusion about what is legal, which creates an environment hostile to innovation and conducive to fraud. The SEC can do better. The task force focus will be to help the commission draw clear regulatory lines, provide realistic paths to registration, craft sensible disclosure frameworks, and deploy enforcement resources judiciously. The task force will operate within a statutory framework provided by Congress and will coordinate the provision of technical assistance to Congress as it makes changes to that framework. The task force will coordinate with federal departments and agencies, including the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, or the CFTC, and state international counterparts. I look forward to the efforts of Commissioner Pierce to lead regulatory policy on crypto, which involves multiple SEC divisions and offices, said Acting Chairman Uyeda. This undertaking will take time, patience, and much hard work. It will succeed only if the task force has input from a wide range of investors and industry participants, academics, and other interested parties. We look forward to working hand in hand with the public to foster a regulatory environment that protects investors, facilitates capital formation, fosters market integrity, and supports innovation, stated Commissioner Pierce. The task force anticipates holding roundtables in the future, but in the meantime welcomes public input at crypto.sec.gov. Okay, so that right there is something that just got announced today, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for action. It's not just saying things, it's doing. That's the most important thing. And we also had some other news that came out as well. So when you come over here, let's come over here and take a look. And you can see that Bank of America on outlook for deal making. Let's take a listen to this.
There's still 4,000 banks, so it's not like there's considered the disaggregation industries.
Let me ask you a separate question though, and Becky's got one back in Washington, but on crypto, we just had Brian Armstrong sitting in the seat that you were in, and obviously there's a lot of excitement about crypto. The banking business, for the most part, has stayed away from crypto. Given President Trump's full-throated support for crypto, do you imagine Bank of America is going to be full full on in the crypto business if we have this conversation 12 months, 24 months from now?
I'd separate out this sort of crypto versus stable assets and digital movement of money, because we already move the vast majority of our money digital. Our consumers do, our companies do. And so the question is, what's the business practice that you have to move another type of currency? So if the rules come in and make it a real thing that you can actually do business with, you will find that the banking system will come in hard on the transactional side of it, non-anonymous, transactional, verified, etc. Because we have to, because it's just another way our customers are going to.
The other thing we were talking about was the possibility that Bitcoin and some of these cryptocurrencies actually are a threat to the US dollar. Scott Besson's talked about needing the US dollar to be super powerful.
Yeah.
Is it a threat?
I think there's a whole bunch of dynamics about all the trade and all the consumption of the U.S. consumer and all this stuff goes on. But I think we do need a strong U.S. dollar. We need a U.S. dollar reserve currency. It's good for our country. But what I'm saying is, if you go out, down the street here and you go in and buy lunch,
right?
If you can pay with Visa, MasterCard, a debit card, Apple Pay, et cetera, this would just be another form of payment in an instantaneous cash transfer. And so I think if it becomes regulatory okay, which it wasn't before, and that's one of the issues, you'll see the banking system enter with, we have hundreds of patents on blockchain already. We know how to enter the field. When you get to the investment side and the Bitcoin stuff, that's really a separate question. That's more on the investment side. From the transaction side, I think we'll see the banking industry make moves.
So there you have it. So the Bank of America CEO pretty much was stating that they're ready to go. Once they get regulatory clarity, they already have hundreds of patents already on the blockchain, and ready to make that move over, so that way people can start making payments instantly with debit cards and credit cards, whether they're with Visa, they're with MasterCard, or you got some other ones out there as well around the globe, right? That cryptocurrencies can end up partnering up with. There's already things going on. Like Bank of America is already using XRP, for example, for transactions already, right along with other countries and other big companies around the globe. Matter of fact, 80%, I think it was 80% of the banks in Japan, including all the major banks, are already using XRP for transactions. So, this right here is just something that's, just starting to get going. So once they get this regulatory clarity from the SEC and the CFTC in the United States, everybody else is going to copy that, because that's who everyone's watching right now. They're waiting on the United States to come up with a regulatory framework, and pretty much everyone's going to adopt that same framework. And then here we go. We got a massive boom in the cryptocurrency industry. And who's to say how long that this bull run could last? If the SEC and the CFTC works together and comes up with a regulatory framework for cryptocurrencies, and let's say by August, September timeframe this year, right? We're predicting that the bull run could be over by October, November, right? What if that regulatory framework extends the bull run even more? Because there's going to be so many more institutions that understands the clarity and how to get involved with crypto at this moment. Which cryptos are legit, which cryptos are not legit. They have the regulatory framework to be able to disqualify projects like, okay, this is obviously a security that's not registered. So until they get registered, we got to stay away from them. But we can go with these cryptocurrencies right here, because they are registered with the SEC, the CFTC, and they have clarity to be able to operate freely. Because they already shown that they have the backing and the support and the audited, so on and so forth, right? So many things that is going to go into that regulatory framework that can really cause a disruption in the market going forward in a good way, okay? So here's another thing. You got the founder of Twitter, Cash App and Block. Jack says, I'm interested in internet having a native currency. The best manifestation technology today is Bitcoin. So let's take a listen to this.
I'm interested in the internet having a native currency. The best manifestation technology for that is today Bitcoin. I'm interested in open protocols for social media. The best manifestation of that I've found today is Nostr. I imagine that there's some equivalent for artificial intelligence in the open source world that has not fully emerged yet. But all these technologies can intersect one another.
What do you feel like you're working on most at this point?
I'm learning how to learn better, because I think that's the thing that compounds the most. it's a good time to reflect on how we learn as humans as well, and like how we can improve that. And if I can do that for myself, I can probably do that for my organization as well.
All right. Welcome to the show. Today
All right, so I just going to play that part right there. You heard it from, another important figure in the space, the former founder of Twitter, Cash App, and Block. So talking about cryptocurrency, AI technology, and just like this right here is something that I'm glad that many of us are part of before it even really takes off, because we're still in the very, very early adoption stages of crypto. And many people don't even realize how early we are. And there's many people that's going to miss it, or they're going to get in like late, like what happened with the .com era. And, so I'm not the one that's going to try to miss out. At that time, I couldn't participate. I was still, middle school, high school. So I couldn't do anything. And, so if I had opportunity to invest to like Facebook and Amazon, and the list goes on, Google, I would have done so, and I've been financially set today. But can't go back, rewind hands of time, anything like that. We can only move forward. So this right here is our .com. Okay, don't miss out. Don't miss out. Okay, so now let us go ahead and minimize this, and we're gonna go and look at the Bitcoin chart right now. So just to backtrack, you saw that going into this year, Bitcoin was already on a nice run. But then after the election happened, Bitcoin went into a massive run, going into new all-time highs very quickly, and it created this ascending channel. And then we had the news come out last month from the Fed about cutting interest rates, and so they cut interest rates, but it was a speech of Jerome Powell that dumped the market, right? And so we had that nice correction here, and we went sideways for a while, and then we've seen Bitcoin make this nice run up. So what has happened recently in these last 3 days is that Bitcoin is going back to retest this important support zone, and the support zone has been working. Okay, it's been rejecting Bitcoin right back up. All right, so right now we see Bitcoin is currently at over almost $107,000 right now. It did get to an all-time high yesterday of almost $110,000 yesterday. Okay, so with all the news that we got coming out today, I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin gets up to a new all-time high again today, or early on in the Asian session. Okay, so that right there is what's going on with Bitcoin. Let's take a look at what's going on with liquidation so far. So we're looking at over $322 million in liquidations in the past 24 hours. Yesterday, I remember at one point, I think it was Sunday as well. Sunday when we had the Trump meme coin, the Melania meme coin, pretty much rug pull everyone. It dumped the whole market. So people weren't able to move crypto in the Solana blockchain due to congestion. The network was collapsing, and everything that it was just craziness. People still waiting on transactions to be processed. People, trying to send Solana out, and it's just like, it was just madness. So that day right there, we had over $1 billion in liquidations on Sunday. And then yesterday, when people were not happy with Donald Trump not saying anything about crypto in his inauguration speeches, they also sold sold the news. So they dumped the market again yesterday, and we had like another $1 billion liquidated yesterday. So thing is, I think the market has corrected more than enough now to be able to go ahead and make this nice run. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a look at the liquidation map right now. And you can see here we got on Binance. Let's go down here though. I like looking at this one. So across the Bitcoin exchange liquidation map, we got a lot of long positions here on a 1 day that are over leveraged, of course. But so some people probably look at this and then try to say that the market go all the way back down. Yes, it could. Just like that's the same old, right? But it comes to a point now that it does not matter how many long positions are over leveraged. So it'll become important later on as the price of Bitcoin gets higher and higher, and then as people continue to be over leveraged, it can make a nice correction. So for example, let's say Bitcoin gets up to like $125,000, and so then it can go back down to like maybe $105,000, liquidate people, and then push right back up again. to like $122,000. Come back down to like $110,000. Liquidate more positions, then push back up again. We can see that kind of action right there with this back and forth, right? And so I just want you to be worried about that. So let's take it to 7-day. So same thing here, longs over leveraged, then more longs over leveraged than shorts, and same thing on 30-day. Okay, so we're gonna go right to the liquidation heat map. Take a look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, and you can see here that let's see, let's go one month here. Okay, so as you can see that you got massive amount of liquidations that can be had down at the bottom, but now it's just pretty much about that time now for the next leg up, so the second leg to get going, and or the third leg. I don't know which one you consider, but anyways, it's time for this massive pump to get going with the altcoins hopefully taking over, and we have the altcoin season. Bitcoin continue to do what it's doing, and then we just have corrections along the way. So how long will this last? We don't know. It depends on how much liquidity comes to the market. But from the sounds of things, you got the banks, you got governments, you got other financial institutions, you got the retail sellers, you got the the big whales. It sounds like this could last, until at least the end of this year. All right. Don't quote me on that. Don't take my word for it. That's just what I'm thinking. Okay. So you don't see a massive amount of liquidity up here to be had at the top, but there's still people up there that's going to be shorting the market in a bull market. So don't understand that, but hey, that's their decision. Let them do what they do. That's money for us going to our pockets, because you gotta have winners, you gotta have losers. Either way, whether the market's going up or down, that's how money gets paid out. Okay, so we're gonna go right here to the data. We're gonna go to the RSI heat map, and you can see right here in the last 4 hours, everything is starting to get bought up. So everything, yesterday, 2 days ago, it was pretty much down here in the oversold region. Now everything has been moving back up, and so you take a look at the last 24 hours, as a matter of fact, and you can see that everything was down here being oversold, and you can see now everything is starting to move up to the neutral zone and somewhat in the overbought zone in the last 24 hours. So that's pretty healthy buying right there. That's another reason why the markets are moving up in a good way. So let's go right back over here to data, and we're gonna go to the visual screener and take a look at what is going on. So we got the shorts closing, got a lot of shorts closing out as the market is moving back up. So a lot of these shorts positions, they opened up yesterday and probably 2 days ago as well when the market dumped. So now they're getting caught off guard, and they either being forced to close out with stop losses, or they're getting liquidated. Okay, and look at all the longs into the market right now. Look at all the longs that's closing. It's not that many. Look how many shorts are entered to the market. It's not that many. So it's showing that all signs are pointing that the market is supposed to continue going up. There's no guarantee of that, of course, but that's just the way things are looking. So that's for the last 15 minutes. Let's go to the last 4 hours here, and you can see pretty much the same thing overall. So it's all signs are pointing to a nice rally today, and that's the reason why we're getting this nice bump today. All this news that's coming out now in support of crypto. What else to expect? So that's the way I see it, and so I'm gonna stop it right there. Let's see, Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance currently at 58.91%. So it's neutral. It's not that bad at all. And that's allowing the altcoins to also move up as well. Not so much, but if Bitcoin dominance is able to get down into like maybe the 57 or lower 58% range, then the altcoin is going to really take off at that moment. So we could possibly see Bitcoin dominance come down later on today, and we can see the altcoins take over the market during the Asian sessions for the most part. And then we'll see what happens tomorrow with news and everything coming out tomorrow. And so this week is not a heavy economic news week, but you still got to pay attention to it and everything like that. But it's not that heavy. That's the reason I'm not going over that this time around. But it's the same thing. It's economic news, and then you got news like this right here. Things that can just pop up at the spur of a moment. You gotta have your ears open up, eyes open up as well, paying attention to everything, so that way you can try to make the best decision for your trading experience, for your trading account. And that's pretty much it. So Going back over to Bitcoin, is now above $107,000 currently, and looking pretty good. So that right there pretty much concludes what I want to talk about in this video right here. If you like what you heard and saw, please subscribe to the channel. Also, feel free to share this video to other people. If you're interested in trading and leverage trading, I'm trading with Pionex and Bybit cryptocurrency exchanges. Both of them offer free trading bots. Pionex offers more, and I really like both of them. You know, so Bybit has a whole lot more services than Pionex has, but both of them are pretty good. Okay, in my opinion. I don't have any issues with neither one of them. But if you're interested in joining, I have my links down in the description of this video as well as in the comment section. And so just trade with proper risk management. I know other people, many YouTubers say don't use no more than 5x. I use 15x leverage. But the thing is, I don't use a whole lot of capital, a whole lot of my trading capital at all. So that's what offsets what it is that I'm doing compared to other YouTubers. And I've talked about that in the past in my videos, you know, using 15% of my overall trading balance to go towards multiple positions. You know, 20%, something like that as well, go towards multiple positions. You know, so a lot of YouTubers, they'll use 5x and then put like 20-25% of their funds into one position and then do 20-25% of their funds to another position. You know, so I'm not doing that. I just take, you know, the 120-25%, whatever the case may be, and I divide it equally amongst all of my trading positions. So that way I keep my risk management as low as possible, even while trading with 15x leverage. Okay. So that right there is what I do. If you want to do it, you can do it if you want to. It's not financial advice or anything like that. It's just me and sharing what it is that I'm doing to be able to trade with leverage. Okay. So thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time in this video. Take care, everyone.